Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I'm excited beyond belief to share with you this first video of a 2 or 3 part series, probably, of how I'm going to nail down this next time frame. So I'm excited to bring to you some of the best stuff I've ever had, and I'm not exaggerating by any stretch of the imagination. I understand this more than I've ever understood this. I'm going to show that in the numbers and the symbols. You have to watch every bit of this video and the next videos in order, because I'm going to unlock some of the biggest mysteries of what's going on with the end times, the Antichrist and his false prophet, and I mean all this stuff about when the attack times are, for the timeline going into when the mark of the beast is going to be here, and all this stuff. It's very intricate. It's very, oh my goodness, I am so excited. I've been getting massive downloads from the Lord Jesus more than ever, and just details, understanding these codes and riddles like never before. And it's taken 5 years plus for me to put this all together and then understand this. It's just what it's taken, that's just the process. The Lord knew that when he first got me on this path, that it would take time to put all this stuff together, because I'm an idiot, I mean, compared to him, I'm nothing, I don't know anything, and he's just shown me over time how this stuff works. Just intricate. I'm going to show it. I'm going to lay it out for you. So I have to start with a particular spot and then get to the whole thing, and then that's going to take, again, 2 to 3 videos, probably 3 videos. We'll see how it rolls out here and everything, but I have so much to share. It's meant you've got to see the whole thing. If you care at all about understanding how this stuff actually works and how it's coming to pass and stuff, you've got to watch this video and share it with many people. Okay, I'm just so excited to bring this to you. So let's get into it. So again, I'm Exalted Lamb 1, and this is on my Telegram. I'm not going to make available the links to Telegram. People by now have the chance to get to Telegram if they want. If you want Telegram, the Exalted Lamb 1, sign up there through your phone number, whatever. This is where I put out all kinds of updates and everything about what I'm doing in between videos and such, even when I put out a new video, because the boobs at YouTube, they basically they turn off notifications, and they've done all kinds of stuff to me for so long. It's really ridiculous. I'm tired of even talking about it. So, but my main theme of Exalted Lamb 1 is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, just like it says in Ephesians 5:11. And remember, in Revelation 13:18, it says those who have wisdom can calculate the number of the beast. So this idea that a lot of religious Christians have, that you shouldn't focus on, the end times or the Antichrist or numbers or anything like that. I mean, you're not biblical whatsoever. It's kind of getting annoying. I mean, it's been annoying a long time ago, but it's kind of getting, it's dry. It's just dry. You have nothing else. I mean, it's just really lame. So, but that's not what the word says in so many areas. I'm exposing the deeds of darkness. That is what my command is by the Lord. This is my specific ministry the Lord has had me on for, again, 5+ years on YouTube, but for longer than that, since I got dreams and visions 8.5 years ago of how the United States was going to end with tsunamis and nukes and all kinds of stuff. It was just all this stuff. And then I said, Lord, how do I share this, but without just showing all the dreams and stuff? I need details. I need evidence. I need numbers and whatever it is, okay? And so over time, he showed me how to explain this in my way, and in tapping into him. And by the way, like I've said on all my videos and most of the time, and I just want to make it super clear, I know Jesus personally, and you can know him too if you ask him into your life and you just basically put everything down and let him in and make him your master, not just your savior, which most Christians do. You make him your master and you do what he shows you to do, and that's all. Just like Jesus said about his Father, I could do nothing but what the Father tells me. Okay, the same thing. If you do that and you lay down your life for him, he will give you all life. He will give you, and it's not about this life, it's about the next life even more. So he'll give you more. Even in the next life, it'll be far greater than you can ever imagine. So that's what this is all about. It's about saving people, bringing them to Jesus, and you yourself moving on to greater pastures, greater things, amazing things that don't end ever, that you can't even imagine. The Bible says about heaven, you can't even imagine what God has set up. You can't even, no thoughts, nothing can ever entertain what heaven has in store, what he has in store for the ones he loves. So I'm excited to bring this information to you. And so let's get to it, okay? And then predictive programming, the Lord said to me recently, as I know him, and he talks to me sometimes very humorously, other times harshly, at times, most of the time very lovingly, okay? Because he's who he is, and he does things why he does things. He is that he is. I am that I am. Whatever. He does the way he wants to do it, and he's a real person. That's what I'm basically saying. He's a real person. He's not a concept, or he's something that's thought of in the Bible, or he's a fairy tale, or a myth or something like that. He's a real person. He talks to me like a real person. So he said one recently to me. He goes, predictive programming is in itself predictive programming. And it was just like, oh my God, like this, the phrase predict. And so let me just share with you again, people who aren't familiar with, or people who know this already, but people who don't. Predictive programming is a subtle form of psychological conditioning woven into the fabric of all mass media, designed to subconsciously program and or consciously acquaint the public with pre-planned societal changes, ideas, or events. These changes, ideas, or events eventually become reality, largely because the public over time has already become programmed and or familiarized with them, accepting them as natural progressions, thus eliminating virtually all possible public resistance, commotion, or investigation. Now, they've done this very effectively with what I called the COVID 1984, and going into the hokey pokey. It's all predictive programming for what's ultimately coming, their mass control. See, and going way even back thousands of years, it's always been about this end game of mass control, where they raise up one person who's the head, and one government in a sense, and one world religion, and all this stuff, to completely have an iron fist over the whole world, controlling it like some kind of god with technological control. It's a technocracy, okay? It's a technocracy with one head that wields AI like a god, okay? Like if you've seen the last Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, it says all of that. It basically, this thing this computer program, so called, has become sentient. And it thinks, and it's controlling everybody to world domination. I mean, they are basically telling the truth in these movies, and that's what predictive programming is. They're telling you what's coming. They're telling you what's going on. They're telling you all these things. So even in predictive programming is in itself, even in the name, predictive programming is predictive programming. I'm going to show that to you, how it's all the way to the end game, the Marxels of the Beastles. I'm going to say it that way because of I'm trying to talk with that little zills on the end, just for algorithm zills and all that stuff. So which they do, so they can remove things that they don't think they don't fit their narrative, that goes against their narrative and their whole programming. Like I said, and again, it's predictive because it's basically telling what's going to happen, and then it's just like if you're watching a program, it's programming you. If you're spelling a word, it's a spell. See, English is designed to cast spells. It is from the devil. It's completely the opposite of Hebrew, God's language. It's completely opposite because it's designed to put spells by spelling. It puts spells on you. When you watch programming on TV, it's programming you. Just keep saying over and over. But I mean, that's how this works. There's multiple meanings of things on the surface and underneath. And even the numbers in the letters are meaning, and those are programming you, and you don't even know it. See, that's the whole part of this, and I'm going to show that to you and prove it to you, basically. Okay, so predictive. Oh, what a shock. Predictive is, look at that. That has nothing to do with the Antichrist, does it? No, again, like I said, Revelation 13:8, the number of the beast, 666, okay? And then we have a number of things. So 666 relates to what? 9. 5 plus 4 is 9, the 99th day of the year, the mark. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm going to show how the 99th day of the year, next year, the 24th, the year 24, which is X. By the way, X is the 24th letter of the alphabet, but the 24th year in 2000 is going to be the X. Okay, the 2 eclipses, the great American eclipses. I'm sure that in a second here. But so that's the 99th day of the year next year. Okay, and that's on the 60. That's the mark 666. And there's other things and all these other numbers, but I'm gonna keep going. So I'm mainly focused on 666, and then, for example, the 99 on this one here. Okay, now watch. Now programming. Okay, we also have, this is a unique way. So now, by the way, these 4 different ciphers in English Gematria. Of course, the first one is the most basic, the most simple, English Gematria. You got English and reverse. English is A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and then you have reverse is backwards. So Z equals 1, Y equals 2, X equals 3, and backwards like that. And then you have these times 6. Okay, again, remember, the number of the world is 6, or the Antichrist is 666, 3 is 3 sixes. So naturally, you'd have the simple Gematria, and then you'd have the English Sumerian is basically times 6. What I call this is, the base ciphers of the Antichrist and his false prophet. And so what the Lord showed me over time is that you put these two together and they make something. You put these two together and they make something. And now you put all these together, forward or reverse, and they make something, and they're telling you a secret plan. And I'm going to show you this many times in this series, and you're going to be blown away on how this works. Okay, and again, there's 4 base ciphers that most Gematria people that have learned it, especially Freemasons, all that, know, and that's English, and then full reduction. Okay, and then reverse English and reverse full reduction. Okay, but these are the ones that are unknown. This combination of these 4, and I'm going to make it light to you so you can see. Now watch. Now watch how this works. This works in different ways. Again, you have the number here, and then you have what it reduces down to. So sometimes the number that it reduces down to is the number that they're after, but you don't know it. Sometimes it's the number backwards. Sometimes it's the number upside down and backwards. And by the way, I've said that many times. It's not only backwards, upside down, and backwards. It's also they're into opposites. What are opposites? Think about it. The opposite side of the year. So if you have June, they're focusing on December. But they're showing you June. If you're looking at L, they're focusing on upside down and backwards. They're focusing on 7, but it's really L, and L is really 12. Okay, all these kind of things. So because light is opposite of dark, good is opposite of evil. All these things that are opposites, all these things that like a Lester Crowley, he was one of the highly regarded Satanists in the early 1900s, and he wanted to be Satan's chief of staff, and he's the patron saint for all rock stars, by the way. I've studied him and how all these rock stars come to greatness through studying Lester Crowley's work and how to do things. For example, doing things backwards, walking backwards, writing backwards, talking backwards, and that would invoke these satanic spirits, these spirits that would basically give them the power to do music and make it very eloquent and make it very beautiful and make it very catchy and all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's backwards is where it's at with the enemy. Everything backwards, everything opposite of God and he's fine with that. So everything is backwards and opposites, upside down and backwards, all that stuff. So we're going with that. Let's look at English, ordinal, and reverse on this one, programming. Look, it's 6, 6, 1 backwards. And then look, we look at the reduction, 5. So we have 6, 6, 1 plus 5 is 6. See that? 6, 6, 6. Now forward, I'm going to start with this. We'll start with the reverse. Let's start with this instead of this. 9, 9, and then we have 6. But look, we have a 3 over here. So 9, 9, 6 plus 3. Okay, so look at that. We literally have these that are hidden in plain sight, and they produce, again, backwards 6, 6, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6, 6. And then 9, 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9, 9. But then upside down and backwards is 6, 6, 6 again. So isn't that crazy how that works? So is that a coincidence? No, I don't think so. It's too precise. It's too much of several patterns in here for it to be random. Only Americans and people who are in the media or that watch the media and live in our funky reality and believe it all, believe in constant coincidence. I mean, it's silly. When I think about it, I've really been thinking about coincidence, and it's so programmed into us. Movies and life and I mean, people that don't believe in God, they believe in coincidence. And there's not even a word in the Bible for coincidence in Hebrew or even in Greek for coincidence, because there's no such thing. Everything has a reason for happening, and everything. There's no coincidence that are random. They all have connected to reason and to the things behind them. So we believe in all kinds of coincidences, people, but it's really it's a distraction for you to the truth. The truth has no coincidences, none. Okay, and then now if you add these together, now I'm going to start down here and add these together, but go in this direction. So it's going to 131 plus 166 plus 786 plus 996 equals, look, 2079. Now we can reduce that to 20. 7 plus 9 is 16, so they have 2016. And then they don't count zeros, so we got 216. Now we'll get into what 216 is in a second here. Now we're going to take these plus each other, but backwards. So we have 459 plus 666 plus 951 plus 111 equals, 2187. We're going to reduce this again. 218 plus 7 is 15. That's 2115. And we're going to reduce this again. 1 plus 5 is 6. Woo, look. And these both 216s, 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. So it just happens to be that we have 666 here, we have 2666 here, and if you add these ones up here, and then we reduce them just slightly, you get to 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6, and you add these backwards, and you reduce them just slightly, and you get this 216, 6 times 6 times 6. I don't think so, okay? Again, predict, just like Jesus said, and again, everything he says to me, if I interpret it right, okay, if I hear it right, is true, okay? And it's not only that, it's very, whenever it gives me stuff like this, it's so intricate. It usually has multi-facets to it. It seems like it's multi-dimensional almost or something. It has so many ways to look at it and stuff. It's crazy. And this is just some of what he said. He said predictive programming is predictive programming. And it's like, wow, it is. The predictive programming showing how it's predictive programming the day of the mark. Again, the 99th day of the year. And I'm going to show that to you in many, many ways. So here's an example of the two eclipses. And they worship this stuff. I've just touched on it. I wish I would have touched on it more earlier last couple of years, but I didn't understand. I knew they were syncing things to these eclipses and blood moons and all that. And I started covering it early, but I didn't understand how it was so intricate. It was so important to nailing this and everything. But now I do. I understand it's far more. It's very amazing what the Lord showed me over time and how I understand this. So if we look at this as a timeline. So the reason why these two count and they cross out United States and they cross out humanity is because they're both full solar eclipses, and they're completely symbolistic of the Revelation 12 sign, because this first one was 33 days before the Revelation 12 sign. And, if you know anything about Freemasonry or anything, 33 is a big number. In fact, a guy that I spoke to was a 32nd degree Mason. I'm not going to even say his name or anything. He said that the two favorite numbers were 3 and 33. And I know exactly why now. And that will unfold in these videos, okay? I got to go step by step. I'm telling you a whole story, and I can't put the cart before the horse because it won't make sense. So I've got to kind of share you certain things. I've got to establish the end before the beginning, in a sense, almost. So this is the end. The end is the ultimate goal. Everything lines up with this ultimate goal of the mark to control human beings. And then, as far as they're concerned, they win. They don't care about beyond that. They really don't. Everything's everything. We're going back to, we're going way back to, just things that happened in antiquity almost. All the way to now and all the way to what's coming very, very soon. Okay, it's very crazy how this works. Okay, so this is a timeline. So we have this eclipse here, and then we have this eclipse here. Okay, there's a timeline here. And I'm going to use this kind of almost symbolic as the symbol. This is the center point of the X, but it's also kind of the center point of the timeline, even though it's not technically accurate, but as far as that goes. But I'm going to use it symbolically as that. Now watch. We literally have, and I've said this before, between this day and that day, these two eclipses, they're full eclipses, we have 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days. That just itself is incredible. There's no way that could be. And again, it's pointing to this end being the number of 666, 666, or 6666, the mark of the beast right here. And I'm going to prove it in so many ways as this series goes. I'm going to show this and prove this. And you're probably going to get tired after a while seeing all the stuff that shows and proves it. But it's going to happen. Now watch. Now we have this other thing that just happened. Oh, this Israel-Hamas war. How is that pointing to this? Well, it's right there, kind of in the timeline, roughly. Okay, roughly right there. Okay. It's a little bit closer to that technically, but this is how this fits. Now watch. from there to there, it just happens to be 6 years, 6 weeks, and 6 days. Well, if you didn't know that the government in Israel is the synagogue of Satan, like the Bible says, I'm sorry, but now you can awake to that. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's what Jesus said. That's what it is. And I'm not talking about the people and stuff, even though most of the people in Israel are going on the way of the heathen and not worshiping God. That's why some of this judgment's coming on them and America. I mean, because America at one point was more, as far as the people, was more godly and everything, but that's long gone. That's long gone. Same thing with Israel and all this stuff happens is happening for reasons because where people are at. So, okay, so there we go. So that's substantial. This date that just started this, okay, the Israel-Hamas war, is so substantial, and I'm going to show you some of those things and why, okay? Okay, now watch. Also, then the remaining is 6 months. And again, this is on the opposite side of this. So how is that? Well, I'm showing it this way for a reason, because it's really April 8th, but most of the world is 8th of April 24, okay? But I'm showing it because it's 8 there, okay? And I'm going to show that for a reason, because I'm going to break these down and show you how this is this, because this is predictively programming this. And I'm going to show that to you. Everything before the events is predictively programming the future events. Each event in stage till they get to the ultimate goal. It's all the pre-stuff is predicting the future. And then they're very incestuous numbers. So they make themselves and other numbers, and those numbers make themselves and other numbers. And they all kind of come together. It's very crazy. It's not what some naysayers would say, oh, you can make numbers whatever you want. No, that's not true. I mean, it's true to people who can't discern it all, and people who can't build a case and show actual fact and how things line up and how things relate to each other. Yeah, that's true. If you can't discern that, then I mean, you can make anything. But if you can, or if you have a person like what I'm sharing with through the knowledge and wisdom of the Lord Jesus, then you can, okay, or then it's possible. So, which I'm going to attempt to do here. But this is super substantial. And then again, this is on the opposite side. Exactly half of the year is 6 months, and so we go from 4/8 to 10 or 10/7 or 4/7. It's the eve of that day is exactly 6 months later. But when you put it all together, it's 6 months, 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days. Anyway, I'm going to be talking. I'm not going to explain every single little bit of this, but to tell you that when you go from these timelines, there are 2 days involved. There's an eve and there's the day, or there's the happening day and there's the reported day. Every event has 2 days, okay, without even explaining it all the time. So because it just gets so, anyway, it gets tiring and everything, and there's no need for it. But just keep that in mind. If for some reason you do the numbers, you're like, why does it go to this day before? Because they count both days, and they count the eve of something as a time frame, and then the first day of that event is a new age or a new time. For example, Christmas Eve. If you think about it, if Christmas was when Jesus was coming and when he was born, okay, if Christmas Eve was the eve before the birth of Christ on the Christmas day, then that was a whole age before the Savior would come. And then as soon as he's born on that day, Christmas Day, that's another age of the Savior. Okay, so you had an age without a Savior, and it was in darkness in a sense, and then the day after, then, there's the Savior. So you have these 2 days. And then you have what most people don't know about is the day something happens. And normally the next day is the reported day. So again, you have an age of not knowing or darkness. And then the first day you hear about something is the age of knowing. So again, that's that contrast. So I'm going to explain it that way. Okay, now watch. If you look at the 4 ciphers here, Israel-Hamas war, there's so much in this, okay? And I'm going to show you this, right? Now, if I add these together, okay, there's so much in each one of these, and I'm going to show you a couple things. But I don't want to, again, put the cart before the horse. I'll explain more things down the road here. But starting with this, watch this. Okay, now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to take the thing off the background here so you can see it a little bit better. But if you take 148, 230, 888, and 1380, and you add them together, you get 2646. Do you see something in here? See something there? 2 6s and 4 6s. Okay. Actually, well, okay. Sorry. I put the cart before the horse. Okay. Kind of. So it is both. It is 2. You switch the 6 and the 2, and you get 6246 or 666. That's what that is. But then you also get 2 6s and 4 6s. What's 2 6s and 4 6? 6666. So this Israel-Hamas war is saying, when you add up all these numbers, 2 6s and 4 6s, which is 6666. It's saying this is somewhere in here, and this is secretly talking about this this whole time frame, and this is about to happen. This is when the mark's coming. And if you don't think that's true, I'm going to show you a bunch of things that prove that. Okay, now watch. So I should have put also 666 here, but I want to explain it here. Okay, so there's 3 6s here, because 2 plus 4 is 6, and then 6 and 6. But it's also 2 6s and 4 6s, which is 6666. I'm going to show you several where there's 4 6s. Okay, now let's go back to these blood moons that were in 2014 and 2015. Again, we're talking about eclipses of the sun. Now we're talking about kind of an eclipse of the moon. Eclipse of the moon that makes it blood red from the shadow of the earth or whatever. So these were substantial, because these that happened in 2014 and many others that happened before, going back to antiquity as well with Israel. There were signs for Israel. There were signs of war that was coming, and of change, the massive change, usually from war. Okay, so this is kicking off war. Okay, and it's just, if you look at the tetrad blood moons in history, and I'm going to show you a couple here and how this works out and everything. But okay, so we got, and then they just happened to hit on these exact feast days in order: Passover, Sukkot, Passover, Sukkot. So Passover and Sukkot of 2014, Passover and Sukkot of 2015. That's a coincidence? Again, if you believe in coincidence, you won't see the significance of what's going on. You're like, it's just. And then if you don't believe in coincidence, it starts pointing to a creator. Okay, you got to wake up and smell the coffee in Brazil. I mean, wake up, man. I mean, seriously. Smell what the rock is cooking. I mean, and I'm talking about Jesus. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? I mean, Jesus cooking something up. You better sniff it. You better whiff it. I mean, seriously. Are you going to whiff? You're going to miss. I mean, seriously. Look at that. So we got 4 blood moons here, and then this last one's very substantial. And for a long time, I had my, theories about everything possibly. But here, watch this. This is incredible. If you take this last day, this is foretelling war that's coming. Okay, so this date, okay, plus 6 years, 6 months, 66 weeks. 6 days, 66 weeks, 66 days. See the pattern here? 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 666, and then 666 minutes, and then even 6,666 seconds. Okay, you get to and again, there's Eve and there's the day, but here, boom, there it is, right to October 7th. Bam, there it is. I mean, is that a coincidence? And then guess what? This day just happens to be the last day of Sukkot. This was the very beginning of Sukkot right here on this day. And this is the very end of Sukkot. And that's a bookend, a beginning and end of Sukkot. It's saying this is about to kick off. What's coming is horrible. I mean, this is just the beginning, but this is saying war's coming. Here's the war. Here's what Biden called 15, 9, 1, and then ones. He said 15, 9, 1, and then ones. He called it 15 of them. As we call what happened to Israel. I mean, minimizing what happened in the United States times 15. I mean, but that's all programming, okay? And I'm going to show you what 15, 9, 1, and then ones is. I'm saying that in code, by the way. 9, 1, and then ones. Of course, it's 9. And then you have that thing 10, and then blank, and then 12, or 10, 11, 12. What's in the middle of that? Anyway, all this code I have to speak is ridiculous. Okay, but there it is, right there. That's it, okay? Bam. And then, now watch this. Just go back to this timeline here, and these Gematrias here, watch. Or these ciphers of Gematria. We have 148. Well, when does Israel become a nation? Okay, again, it's about Israel. 1948. And you always remove a 9, because anything you add 9 to stays the same. So that is 9. There's a 9 in there that's taken out. And that's 1948. In fact, let's go from 1948. Let's go from Israel's birth to that day of this war. Her birthday is 75 years, and guess what? 57 days. See, 14757 7557. is not only 1212, which is substantial. It has to do with the birth of the Antichrist in December. I'm going to say that, but I'm not going to say any more right now because, again, the cart before the horse. But it's also triple tau, triple tau. It's backwards triple tau. Tau in Greek is 19, and the tau is really important. Obama's the tau. He's the 19, but he's the triple tau. He's the gate to hell. He's the gate to hell, and 319s or triple tau is 57 backwards, and then 57 forward. Again, that's hiding. 147 is hiding. 1 plus 4 is 5. 7 triple tau. And let me show you right here. Triple tau is the gate that finally opens. Now, what do we have here? We have deltazels, like in the variancels, deltazels. Then we have, I'm sorry, take that back. Deltazels is right here. Deltazels right here. Then the variancels right here. And then we have omnicronsels. Omnicronsels, right? Omnicronsels. And then we have tausels or triple tausels. That is the gate to hell. This is a pendant that Freemasons have. Several branches of Freemasonry have this version of, and they wear this pendant. This is also the symbol that's hidden in Catholicism. In their, I forget what you call it now, but if you look at the main IHS thing, that is I, and then H is they put the I on top of the H, and then it's really three taus, triple tau, and that's showing that the Pope is the gateway to hell. He is the gateway to hell. He is the false prophet of the Antichrist, who's the gateway to hell. Now, this is the gate. This is the three aspects of the gateway to hell, and they just happen. That's why I'm also saying that either whatever variancels that comes out is going to either be tausels variancels, or it's going to be some version, some way of saying triple tausels variancels. Okay, so that is what it is. I'm telling you, this is so crazy how this comes out. Now let's go to the next one. Look at this 888. Now this is substantial. I knew right away what this was because I knew roughly where we were at in this. But here we go. Watch 888. What happens when we take this war and minus 888 months? We get this. What is that? What is the difference between these two? What is 88? What is this day? What is this day? What could this day be? October 7, 1949. Oh, it's a blood moon. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. And there you go. Now, what is that part of? Oh, that's part of another tetrad of blood moons. Okay, back in 1949 and 1950. Okay, we're just talking about tetrad of blood moons in 2014, 2015. Well, and it just happens to be on Sukkot. This one right here the other one was over here, and this one was the first Sukkot, and the last one was the last Sukkot. It just had to be a Sukkot. Not only is this day a Sukkot, and then the one at the end of the 2015 was Sukkot, but this one was Sukkot. Passover Sukkot. Passover Sukkot. This is Sukkot on 10/7/49. Just the way I'm showing it, just make it short with the first letter. Passover Sukkot. Passover Sukkot. Again, impossible for that to line up on these exact days if this wasn't showing something, and I'm showing you some things it's showing. Okay, that's impossible. Okay, so kind of put it a little bit more in a nutshell here. We have Sukkot is also called, so other people, even Christians, the Feast of Tabernacles. Feast of Tabernacles, and that was on this war. Literally, it happened during a time of celebration. And there was a scripture in the Bible, and I didn't put it in here, but it talks about how Israel will be attacked when they're having celebration and all that. And that's during this time. This was the day they were celebrating. Okay, it's crazy. It's absolutely great. It was the last day of Sukkot, Shemini Azeret. Okay, and so that, then you minus 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, like I showed you, is that. Okay, and then this is all the things that happen around this time during these eclipses. Okay, sorry, the blood moons. We had 2 major eclipses here as well, and then we have this comet. There's this massively huge for Israel, and there's a lot of symbolism in this. I'm not getting into right now. Okay, but then we take this date, and then like I showed you, also minus 888 months, and we have this guy right here. And to just make it super clear, and then this was the Israeli war armistice. This is their birthday, and this is all setting up this for the next war that was coming as well. And then there's also numbers I haven't done, or I don't have in here to show you between that and the 6-day war. I also have connections from the 6-day war with sixes, 666, 666, 666, all that stuff. to the Temple Mount shooting and all that stuff. It's just crazy. It's all connected in some way that not all I can find, of course, right away. But again, we have Sukkot. Okay, and then so again, this is about Israel. Do they have something to do with this time frame and the sixes and the mark and all that stuff? Yeah, their symbol. Look at their symbol right here. What is their symbol? A symbol, if you don't know, it's 3 different things. It's a 6-point star. Okay, it's 6 triangles, and then the 6 triangles are around 6-sided. It's a hexagon. Okay, it's a 6-sided hexagon, 6-pointed star, 6 triangles, 6 sides, 666. The star of Ramphon. It's also the star of Molech. Molech is or Ramphon, however you want to say it. It's the god that they sacrifice children to. Wonderful, huh? So the Star of David is not the Star of David. It's made up. In fact, that is it's numerologically connected completely to 666, and I'm not going to explain that right now. Maybe later. Okay, so that is 666. Now, there's another thing that's crazy. Now, if you go from this the year of 1949 of this Feast of Tabernacle, 1949, to this 2015. Or 2015 minus 1949 is what? 66 years. Okay, they're not into sixes at all. So we got 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, whatever. It's crazy. It goes. Now, again, how these two are equal. This is predicted. This is the same thing as that, pretty much. This is predictably programming this in the numbers. Now, watch. If I get rid of 2 plus 7 is 9. Again, anything you add 9 to stays the same. For example, okay, if you have 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0, you have 1. So you had a 1 and a 9, but you added a 9 to it, and it goes back to being 1, because 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0, it ends up being 1. So anything you add 9 to always stays the same. So you can remove 9s, and you can also remove 0s. But we're going to remove this 9 first, for example, and then we're going to remove the 0. So what do we have left? 8. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. 8, 4. See this? 8, 4. See how that works? It's crazy. Now, we're going to take let me do this. Let me go backwards here. We're going to take these ones we crossed out. Again, we had 2 and 7 is 9. And then O, like I said a million times, or hundreds of times in my videos, O is 0 is hiding O. So most people say like 101 or whatever. And we've been programmed to that. Again, programmed. Most people don't say 101. They may in the military because they're supposed to be more accurate. But in the normal civilian class out here, we say 101. Cozy 101. No, anyway, we say that, but it's really 101. But why do we say O? Because we're programmed because it's hiding an O. The O is 15. So if we go 15 is O, plus 2 plus 7 is 24. Wow. Oh, is that some? Let's now reduce that. Let's reduce this into a basic, like you put on a lot of people put on their checks or whatever, or when they do another thing, they don't bother writing out 2024. They go 4, 8, 24. So that's how they use this as code. Again, we have 8, 4, 24, 8, 4, 24. So this is predictably programming this. And again, it's the same thing. So that's predictably programming that. See how that works? It's crazy. Okay. And then let's look at another way. So we have 8, or 4, 8, April 8th, and then we have 20 plus 24 is 44. Well, who is that? Who was born on August 4th and is 44? That's Stinky B.O., the Antichrist. Antichrist Obama. Okay, so he's the 44th president. He's born on August 4th. Okay, now let's look at his birthday. Look, again, August 4th, 4th of August, however you want to say it. And we got 44. 4 plus 4 is 8. If we get rid of the 9, 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. So we have 8, 4, 8, or 4, 8, 8, or whatever it is. We got 2 8s and 1 4, and my P.O. box just happens to be 884. And it was years ago I got this thing, and it was 884, and that's literally backwards for the 4th of April 2024. 224 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 8. And I'm like, wow. See, this is how the Lord works. He shows us thing way in advance, and it's right in front of me, and I don't know until now that's coming. Okay, it's crazy. It's all there. Now watch this. Now let's take this date of this first eclipse, And then there's another hidden way you do. See, numbers together not only added, they can also be subtracted secretly. They'll also be times. So if you take all these numbers, not including the zero, because you can't times by, if you times by zero, you get zero. Any of these numbers times by zero, you just go back to zero. So another reason why they don't use zero that people don't know. They don't use zero for that. They use it as an end number, okay, but they don't use it to reduce or use it in their equations or whatever because it doesn't work. Okay, because 1 plus 0 is still 1, whatever, and 1 times 0 is 0, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so but 8 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 1 times 7 is 224. That does not look like something. Now let's look at the date that I showed you in time the timeline with this Israel-Hamas war. Boom. The 10/7/2023. We have 1 times 7 times 2 times 2 times 3 because we don't count the 0 again. Oh, look at this. August 4th, no. April 8th, 2024. Look at that. See, it's just crazy how this works. April 4th, 2020. So they're not foretelling some piece. That's foretelling a piece of this in this year. This is foretelling a piece of this in this month and day. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then, is this a massive coincidence, too, off the charts, that Obama's birthday, when he was supposedly born, to the mark day or the last eclipse day, is going to be backwards, April 8th, 20, and then 6 is made up of 4 and 2, and I did it so it's backwards. April 8th, 2024. Is that a coincidence? Are you breathing? I mean, are you having any kind of consciousness? I mean, are you aware of how things work at all? No, it's not. That's impossible. That even in reference, when I've already said for years he is that, and then I'm talking about the mark, and I'm talking about the eclipses and all this stuff for so long, and then you basically go, oh, there it is, boom, and that's everything I've ever said about it and more. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's impossible. That's impossible. Okay. Again, let's look at this number. It's many things hidden in this number. Okay, many things. Now watch. This one thing is I'm gonna do it backwards, like I said. Again, then most of the world, besides the United States, it's the right way. It's the day, month, year, not month, day, year. Littlest, bigger, the biggest. Day, month, year. This makes more sense. Okay, but we're Americans. We'll do whatever any way we want it, and how we want it, and heck with everybody else. It doesn't matter because we're Americans. We're arrogant. We're whatever. I mean, but there's reason for it. So it's about programming. That's what it really is. But it's not about that. But it adds to that. Okay, so one way of looking at this: 8, 4, 2 plus 4 is 6. So I'm going to do an 846 here, and I'm doing 846 out here to show you something. Now watch. So that's the code, 846. Does that look familiar, 846? Well, because you saw it then. On 9, 1, and then 1, at 846, the first plane hit the Twinsels Towersels on 846 a.m. on 9, 1, and then 1. Boom. Should have made that green. I should have made that blue. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, now what? That's crazy. Okay, so what's going on with that? Oh, that's some predictive programming about this day and some kind of bad stuff happening. Okay, what's going on with that? We'll see. And then, oh, look at this. Oh, another 846. 8 minutes and 46 seconds that George Floyd was suffocated for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I mean, are you kidding me? But you go, oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, really? Well, if that's a coincidence, why is George Floyd named backwards in English Gematria equal this? Why is that? That's coincidence? I don't think so. Again, if you believe in coincidence, then you're faithless. I mean, basically, that's what coincidence means. It means everything has anything that it's just all random. It's all random. And so then there's no meaning to everything. So if you believe in coincidence without having meaning to it, or events having meaning, then everything's random and nothing has no meaning. So your existence is not meaning. So you should just, what's the point of life? I mean, it gets to that point. It's really, if you actually really think about all this stuff and don't just push it away like most people do and just live their life and forget about reality, what's really going on and what matters, then you'll just push it away and go, oh, these coincidences doesn't matter. But it all matters, okay? And so right here, again, that's backwards that. See how these are both these numbers and these numbers? Oh, is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Okay. Well, another thing that these are really saying, again, times, is 9 times 11 is 99. The 99th day of the year in 2024 is the eclipse day. Again, that's Marxals of the Beastles, and you'll see. And 99 is also 6, 6, upside down and backwards. Okay? Oh, it's the foundation of 6 6 and 6 and 6. Both six, both two sixes and two sixes. So many things. Okay, there's so much going on here. And then 99, again, like I said, these are incestuous numbers. 99 spelled out 99, 1999 however, is 846. Incestuous numbers. These numbers make other numbers and the same numbers, and they all hang out together. And just like it was like the royals for so many years in all these different countries, they were incestuous. They they kept it in the family, and they kept having children in the family that had distorted stuff, and they were all messed up, and they made them a lot more insane and more of what they shouldn't have been, really. But that's how these numbers are. It's just like this. And elites, wield these numbers just like they wielded their, inbreeding. It's just good. Okay, anyway. Now look at 846. What's that? Sandra Lindsay was the first American to receive the COVID 1984 vaccinations on 12/14. Her name in Gematria is 846. And look, there it is. Sandra Lindsay, boom. Again, this is English Sumerian. The other 846 back here we saw was 99 was reverse English Sumerian, but that's still substantial. Again, I'm showing you English, reverse English, and English Sumerian and reverse English Sumerian, the 4 base ciphers of the Antichrist and his false prophet. I'm telling you, that's what it is. You'll see. Okay, bam. Is that crazy? Well, there's more to this than that. Let's link her in this situation more to these. We have a 9, 1, and then 1 to get to as well. How is she that? And she's that in multiple ways, and she's 99. Now watch. Okay, so 9, 1, and then 1 equals that. How does that equal that? And by the way, that's Zombie Day. So I'm pre-showing you that it's in December, December 9th through December 25th, Christmas, 24th really, but then it goes into Christmas, and Obama said, I want to win the war on Christmas. Win the war on Christmas. I'm in a dinner, one of those, media dinners or whatever you call them. I can't think of what it's called right now. Anyway, yeah, and I want to win the war on Christmas. All these different things. My name is Steve. And his name is Stephen Dunham, and that equates to all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, so how is that equal? Let me show you. Boom. So if you take 12/14 and you switch the 2 and the 1, you get 1124. And then you get 1124. Again, we're reducing here. Reduction. 1, 2 plus 4 is 6. 116. Oh, 116. 116 upside down and backwards is 9, 1, and 1. Now we're not quite to there. And then this backwards is 119. And we got Mr. Floyd is 119. His full name, 119. See how that works? See how this is connected here? 9 ones and onesels equals 12/14. Okay, the day of the hokey pokey. The first hokey pokey, but that was going to turn people into zombies. You're going to see that. That's why it was on this date. Okay, and then so again, push the 2 and the 1, you get 1124, and then 2 plus 4 is 6, so 116, upside down and backwards 9, and then backwards is 119. See how that you can get from here back to here, or back to here, or there to there. Okay, crazy. And there's even more. Watch. Okay, again regarding her, this is St. Joseph's University in New York. Oh, Sandra Lindsay, a 99, receives our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. We are so very proud of you. She received the Medal of Freedom because she's so brave. I agree, she's brave. If she really took the shot, she is a brave and not too bright for the hokey pokey. So that's not good. Okay, but look, she's an alumni of the 99. 99, see the 99th day of the year. And what's 99? That's 99th day of the year, like I said. And that really means that she graduated in 1999. And what is that? Upside down and backwards, it's 6661. Again, with the rule of Kalal, you can take away any 1, and that ends up being 666. Sorry, I'll go backwards here. That's it. I hit something here. Okay, anyway. So look at that. See the 99, the mark of the beast on 99. And she's all those things. And now check this out. What's right here? Right behind her. While she's having this happen. I just happened to be showing this right there. That was the Northwell Health that she is supposedly a nurse for, okay? And it's on her shirt and everything. It's right above her head. It's like her crown right here, right? Now, what's her crown? Her crown is what? It is Northwell. It's, look, 116. Upside down and backwards is 9, 1, and then 1. Again, we have her connected to 9, 1, and then 1, and and George Floyd and 99 and 846. And they're all telling the story of ultimately receiving the marshals that comes from. See, now, a lot of Christians that were on YouTube, they're kind of being quiet now. Being like, I remember when the Hokey Pokey first came out, they're like, oh, it's the mark of the beast. Oh, it's the mark of the beast. And I told them, I said, there's 10. I didn't share on my videos, but I've talked to several of them, different ones or whatever. And I told them, this is not the mark of the beast. The Bible, I can show you 10 different scriptures that show that it's not. By the way, the mark of the beast is supposed to make people basically immortal in a bad way, and corrupted and funky and uncontrolled with the control of the Antichrist of the devil and all this stuff. We're supposed to make them immortal, but that the Hokey Pokey was killing off, according to just basic reporting, hundreds of thousands of people. Okay, and then more than that, I think ultimately, definitely millions worldwide, millions and millions. I mean, realistically, okay. And then there's many other reasons for that. That's just one, for example. There's many other reasons. I'm not getting into all of them right now because but that is really important. It's, oh man, it's huge when you think about this. This is not part of this. Okay, the Lord told me that Lord told me that with the Hokey Pokeys, they are. I'm trying to think about. I lost my train of thought. That's rare for me, and I tried not to do that. I tried to keep very focused on, but it happens because I'm a person. But when you, I'm just trying to think, like in the, I can't think of what I'm trying to say here now. It's when you, oh, terraformer. Okay, there it is. I was thinking of a couple movies, alien movies or whatever. And again, this has to do with aliens. It's weird that it's on the alien day as well, because the Lord told me that these Hokey Pokeys are terraforming the body. They're getting it ready for what's going to be placed in it. They're terraforming it. They're putting this technology in the body, or it's preparing it for technology, basically, with the stuff that's being put in it. Okay, then the mark is coming. It's not the mark. It didn't end their lives. It didn't end their lives forever, and curse them forever and all that yet. But the mark will do that. Okay, and that's coming. Like I'm showing you, improving it. Sorry about that. It's a rare moment for me. I try to keep focused on that, but sometimes I get kind of thrown off. Rarely, though. Thankfully. Oh man. Okay, so that is representing zombie. That's why, again, it's going to be December 14th, which is all kinds of stuff. Oh, by the way, this is a good time to mention this before I forget. Link to the or pinned to the top of comments. Okay, in the description. No. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Reset, rewind. Okay, let me start over. Okay, back to square one. Man, I don't want to go into a thing where I'm off and all that stuff. So let's start all over. So, pinned to the top of comments right now in this video is my timeline of events. Okay, the timeline of events. Okay, so you can see it now without having to wait for the next videos or whatever to explain it all. But you can see it now. And each day, the 16 days. And they're gonna start out small and get ratchet up in intensity. It's called their mega rituals, and they're gonna start killing off a good amount of people. It's all process, and it's behind the scenes. It's God's process in a good way, and in a very bad way, the enemy has the reins and he's doing his process, and that's where God has his hands tied in a sense, because he's allowing this to happen because people have let it happen by where they're at and the contracts they've signed, by watching all this crud and believing it and everything else in their lives. And so the enemy has programmed people to this day. So by the way, this is Zombie Day. Okay, now watch. It's not only Zombie Day, it's a zombie face. Now, if try right now, if you can, to squint your eyes a little bit and go back and look at this picture. It is a zombie face. This is an eye, a mouth, and a nose. Eye, nose, and a funky mouth right here. It is a zombie face. Now, it's not easy to see right now, but the Lord showed me it, and I don't know how he showed me exactly. I can't explain it, but I literally stepped back for a second and looked at it. He said zombie face, and I was like, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. Now I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you a little picture with a little bit of filtering on it first, and see. This is the one I think looks most obvious. Boom. Now squint your eyes and look at this. Can you see this ugly zombie face with a funky solid eye on our left, and then kind of a eye in the shadows on the right, on your right. It's crazy, and you see the nose right here. There's a kind of a mouth sort of open here. Eye, nose. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna show you another one, and that's a different kind of filter, but that might be easier for some people. See the zombie face in that. Again, this was going to create zombies on this day. This is what this is saying. And secretly, demons put this together to control people. It's all manipulated. Even this shot, they've done this before in many ways. as a predictive programming, without you knowing it, they're showing you that these people will be turning into zombies, that they get shot. And I was told by the Lord, the 3 different manufacturers are going to cause 3 different types of zombies. They're going to be ones that enraged and taken over by demons and murder people. There'll be ones that just wander and still eat people and stuff. But there's going to be ones that will be immediately suicidal and kill themselves right away, because they want to get rid of people, and they want to use other ones to get rid of people. They want to thin the herd, as they say. Okay, here's another one, if that helps you. Again, squint your eyes a little bit, look at it with some color there. You can see this nasty freaking zombie face. Eye, nose, mouth right here. It's crazy. Mouth is barely there, but it looks all creepy. And then again, there's more. This was kind of like a floral thing, but it looks like blood. So that helped me kind of see it a little more too. And this is anyway, it's crazy. It's there. If you don't believe it or can't see it, I'm sorry, but it's there. It is so there. The Lord showed me. He said zombie face, and then I was like, "Are you talking about this?" And then I squinted at it. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can see it. I can see it." I'm like, "Wow!" And by the way, this event right here is right in the exact spank me middle of the timeline, the exact middle day of this, and that is because it's pointing to the day of the Marxals. Okay, I mean, are you kidding me? It's right in the middle. I'm going to get into more of this later, okay? A lot more of this later, and how this is in the middle, and why that means something, and so much stuff. Okay, but again, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I got more amazing stuff. Knock you off your legs stuff. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's very nice, yes. Okay, it's 4824, okay? Another way of looking at it is 4, 8, 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, remember we had 846, and that was connecting all those people and the events and all that. Now we have 486. That sound familiar to a 486? Yeah. Oh, that was a very popular computer processor at the time. People say, I have a 486, I have a 486, I have a 486. And in fact, this one, I looked up, was going to be admitted into this like 90s museum because it was very popular. This particular model was very, very popular. The 46 DX2, 66 megahertz, 90s desktop with turbo button and LED display. Very popular kind of thing. Okay, now watch this. This is just incredible. This is incredible. Okay, here we go. Boom. Now that is what this is. Okay, it's a 46 DX2, 66 megahertz. Now watch how this breaks down. It is incredible. Look, D is 4, X is 6, 2 plus 4, it's 24, 2 plus 4 is 6, 2, 6, bring the 6 down, M is 13, H is 8, Z is 26. Are you kidding me? Now watch this. We'll break this down even more. Again, we keep reducing down. Boom. 4 plus 2 is 6, and then bring this 6 down. 6, 6, and then we have this 6, 6 here. Look, 6, 6, 6, right? Watch this. And then we remember the M was 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. Bring the 8 down. We have to bring this 2 down, and then 6 is hiding 2 and 4. Remember 4 and 2 with Obama's birthday to the last day. This is insanely saying, are you kidding me? Again, this makes this, the 486 is 666, 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days to 4/8/2024. Are you kidding me? Amazing. Man, I'm getting goosebumps right now. This is from the Lord. Incredible. There's no way that could be. No way. And knowing this ahead of time, and this matches up perfectly, okay, bam. Then, when did the 486 PC come out? Oh, it came out in 1989. Oh, by the way, you move the 9 to the left, and you have the 1 and the 8, so you have 999. Okay, upside down and backwards is 666, and this is a PC. What is a PC? P is 16th letter of the alphabet. C is 3. What's 1, 6? So we have 666. The in a very basic version, a primitive version of control, or the Marxals, right? And it's PC. PC, it's a PC 163. Well, what's 163? Oh, that just happens to be Barack insane no bombazles. I mean, are you kidding me? Okay, now let's take 163. Let's take both of his numbers in English in reverse. Now let's put them together. Once we have PC and 323. Put those together, and what do we have? Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Oh, right above it, 486. Are you kidding me? No way could that be if that wasn't planned. And by the way, computer just happens to be the control mechanism that's going to be micronized or microscopic in people and all that, and was not only stuff versions of it to to make it run everything, were injectals into people. Okay, 666 again. Seriously, people, if you don't understand that, you don't see this, I can't help you. Look, 111 plus 1. By the way, each number means something, and these numbers are going to add all together, but I'm going to show you this. 111 plus 105 is 216. Again, 216, the 216th day of the year is Obama's birthday. 216th day of the year, like I've shared a million times. And 216 is another reason, I think my fifth reason why he's the Antichrist out of almost 800. Solid evidence is he is the Antichrist. Probably my fifth one ever or something like that, okay? And that's 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. Now we're going to take this plus this, and we have 1296. Of course, if you take this times 6, you can get that. But what's 1296? Of course, because you take this times 6, because that's what this is times 6, then 1296 is going to be 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Again, this is hinting to the timeline. 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days to the mark. Okay, and a computer is the basic form of the eventual control, which is technology of the Marxals. Hello, and all the technology that transfers. Now let's look at one of the computers besides on the other side of the 486, which was Apple. This is the first Apple, and it just happened to be $666.66. By the way, I've seen several of these ads or old ads. That's their original address that they actually worked out of a garage, but they use this as an official phone number and address and all that stuff for their Apple computer company, right? But and then I Googled this, and this just showed up as what this actually looked like. This is showing circuit board and stuff like that here, and they were all into the details. They weren't into much marketing but this is what it actually looked like, the Apple One. The Apple One right here looked like that. It looked kind of a wood base. It's crazy, isn't that? Okay, but it was sick. I mean, seriously, I mean, you can't, I've known this for a while, but I mean, look at this. I mean, seriously, all this, I mean, seriously, I mean, and then now we go to Apple, and it should be a surprise. I mean, look, you go from here to there, computer to that. I mean, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? I mean, are you hearing me? I mean, seriously, this is crazy. This is nuts crazy. You can't see the connections here. What this is, the technology to be put into people, okay, and it originated through basic computers and all that, of course. Okay, boom. Oh, let's just go right into it. Let's go right into it. Apple. Let's go to Apple. Apple. How is Apple that? Whoa, Apple's that all day long. The name Apple is APPLE. Look at this. Watch. Oh, there's a 6 and a 6 right away. We got 6 and 6. You have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 6, and then we have a 5. We're 1 away. Oh, darn. It didn't work. And hey, a lot of things I do that you don't see don't work. They don't work. I don't just try to use a shoehorn and make them fit into this funky size shoe. Okay? No, they don't fit. But the reason why this doesn't fit, because it does fit, because you need a 1 to make this, right? You're missing a 1 away. You add a 1, you got it. Oh, because it's an Apple 1. It's an Apple plus 1. Apple plus 1 is that, and that is that. Apple plus 1. So 6665 plus the 1 in Apple 1 is that. Or if you go to iPad Goat, we have the Apple on the first day. Apple is 6665 on the first day. This is Apple on the first day. Then she drops it, and then there's days as it rolls and all this stuff. Apple on the first day is 666. Again, 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days in between ultimately bringing us to the Marxals, which is represented by an apple. ultimately, we got the attack days here. That'll be in December, and I'm going to show you at some point, you'll see through my videos, these videos sequentially, that this is all rolling out. Everything's symbolizing that's in the timeline that's coming up to symbolize the rolling out of the mark of the beast. That's a few months later. And the aliens, when they finally show up at the end of the timeline, the benevolent aliens that are supposed to be the good aliens, is going to take a couple months for everybody to get in the system and everybody get the marks and everything like that and be forced into it or get their head chopped off. Okay? It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a couple months for it to all happen, boom, 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 and then they're locked in by April. Okay? That's how this works. By the way, my wife had some dreams about some of this stuff too, and that's another thing that ties into some of this, and I'll share some of that at some point, but it's crazy. And other people, and my daughter, and me, and stuff like that. Okay, now I'm just going to take a couple things. By the way, look down here. I'm just going to show you this real quick. Look at this backwards. 8th of February, 8th of April, 24. With the rule of Kalal, take away 1, take away that away. So that's what this was, backwards. 8th of April, 24. Look down here. 8th of April, 24. Sorry, I didn't do this. I was going to do it later. But then what? Take away the rule of Kalal, take away 1. 4th of 5 plus 3 is... sorry. April is 4. We look at Kalal, take away the 1 away. 5 plus 3 is 8. 20, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So literally we have it more spelled out here with take the 1 away right here, and we have exactly backwards right here in the phone number. I mean, everything in here is everything. I'm not exaggerating one bit. Everything in here is, and I'm going to show that just by Apple Computer Company. I just showed this, but Apple Computer Company right there. Okay, watch this. Okay, we have literally write this backwards. Again, backwards. Reduce this down. Reduce it to 4. 4, 8, 24. Again, there it is. The mark, day of the mark. 4, 8, 24. April 8th, 2024. Okay? Now watch. Now we're going to take this plus that is 540. Okay, what does 540 reduce down to? 5 plus 4 is 9. And then again, 0 is hiding O. O is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So what is that? Okay? What is that? Okay, here's a clue. This is backwards. So this is backwards. This is not 96. This is 4, 8, 24. By the way, it doesn't have to be 4, 8, and then 2, and then 4. It can just be 4, 8, 24. Because each number it's its own thing. So 24 is its own thing. So to read it, you have to read it 24. Sometimes it could be 2, 4, but most of the time it's like this, but because it's its own thing. And so you can't read it backwards. It'd be 42 if it was backwards. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. So literally this is backwards in some way. 4, 8, 24. And then this is 69. Well, what's up with 69 on 424? It's also 99. So just switch that 6 to a 9. The 99th day of the year is 4824. But what's also crazy about the 99th day of the year is it's also the day of 69. Day of 69. Okay. So another reason why in iPad Go it has Psalm 23 because it's about 23 chromosomes from each donor. Okay, so you have 69. You have 23 chromosomes from the donor of your mother, 23 chromosomes from the donor of your father, and then with the mark, which is on this day, the 99th day of the year, 9-6 or 9, switch that 6 to 9, is you get 23 technological chromosomes to make it 69. Okay, or a third strand of DNA. So what's going to make people locked into the mark of the beast. I'm telling you, believe it or not, I've done the research. I know, so much stuff about it. It's crazy. Now watch this. This is creepy. This is creepy. Now, remember how this is creepy and crazy how the Lord showed me this. It's blew my mind. It's going to blow your mind. Now watch. Not only did I add this to this, right? And I got 540 and got the mark, okay? But let me tell you what the mark's going to bring you into by adding it the other way. Okay? We're going to add it this way. Okay? 292. Again, isn't that crazy how that's a forward or reverse number? And it's going to make another number. Now watch. 292 plus 842. Again, 292 could be either way. 292 could be either way. Plus 842 equals 1134. Now, I did it this way digitally because digital is the best way to see things upside down and backwards. because you don't get, the serifs and the different things and digits that are make them a little weird from font to font. But in digital, it doesn't hide anything. Now watch. What happens when you get, on this day, when you get the mark of the beast, which is 6, that, whatever, it's going to be, take this number, upside down and backwards, it's going to be hell. This is not made up, folks. This is the Lord Jesus inspiring me to find the truth that's hidden all over in this stuff. Is it not? It's hell. It's going to be hell on earth. And guess what? At the end of the destruction of the United States, it's going to be another hell, because the Antichrist is going to take over the world. And then when the mark happens, that's one pillar. When the United States, when the Antichrist basically says, "There's no one to oppose me. I'm the guy looking like he's the savior of the world in some form." And then when the mark souls of the beasts comes around in 108 to 107 days later, then that's going to be another pillar that's going to come down, and that's the sanctity and the freedom of people. They're going to either be beheaded or take the mark and be forced to be in his body, this false Messiah with a false body, a complete counterfeit of Jesus and his body that's going to go up on the last day of the timeline, and then the mark day is going to be this false one. I'm going to show you how they equate, and it's amazing. It's coming. To stay tuned, because I'm going to show you. It's going to blow your mind out the back of your head. It's going to go down the street and around the corner. You just watch if you don't believe me. And then hey, just hell just is nothing. This is just made up. It's just a chance that it was 1134 and turned upside down and backwards is hell. No, now let's look at hell. Look at the word hell and how this is programmed in everything. Proving it. Sorry, but I'm proving it. Now watch. What's here? What's right in front of your face? In hell. English Sumerian, reverse English Sumerian. Watch. Because, look, 6, again, backwards. They love backwards. Look again. 6 plus 2 is 8. Boom. 4. There's a 4 again. 8 and 4. 8, 4. 8th of April. Watch this. And then we got 22 plus 2 is 4. That just happens to be that? No, because it's in several ways. Now let's take 222 plus 426. 222 plus 426 is 648. Again, we have 8th of August, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, now let's do the other way around. Let's go 624 plus 222. Again, this is unique because they have to have a number that's similar forwards and backwards as far as this goes. And it makes, if you take 624 plus 222, it makes a mirror of that. 846. Again, 8th of April, 24. Hell is coming on that day. People don't take the mark. If they don't take the mark, they're going to be beheaded, or if they're lucky enough or blessed enough to get away or hide. That's what happened to some people, and God's going to protect them and all that. But I'm sorry, but if you want to stay for that, go ahead. I don't. You don't have to. See, the point of life is to go through and learn your lessons, and then leave in the rapture and be with the Lord, and then come back and fight and harvest people during the tribulation. The point is not to have no power, be in the tribulation when you didn't learn all your lessons during your life, and then you got to deal with all this stuff, and then learn your lessons in that time. That's the point of it. Otherwise, God's vindictive nugget. That's the point. Okay, you learn your lessons in your life, and you go through all that stuff in your life, and then you get the reward of that. And then guess what? You don't just leave everybody off the planet and you're gone. You will come, the ones who are the most faithful will come back and fight for the ones who are still fighting, or trying to fight, or waking up to something. And we're going to come back and do something. So it's not just, I feel sorry for you if you're a Christian that just wants to get the heck out of here. Something's wrong with you. If you don't have desire to fight for people, if your heart isn't split between wanting to go and be with the Lord, oh man, all of me wants that. But then I'm split in half, and there's a part of me that says, I don't want to leave people that are somewhat good, or my family, or my friends. They don't get it. If you're not torn, there's something wrong, and you may stay anyway. Maybe. Don't put it to chance. Go to the Lord. Serve Him. Listen to His voice. Do what He says. That's all I can say. It's the best thing you can ever do, and you won't have to worry about any of that stuff. And then now let's look at times. Again, there's always secretly timing things. So you get 222 times 426, and you got 94572. What is that? You have 9, 4 plus 5 is 9, 7 plus 2 is 9. So you have hidden 999, or upside down and backwards 666. So the mark's going to be on 846, 846, 846, or 8424, or the eclipse day, in several ways right here in front of your face. And that's going to be hell. And I'm proving it, because it wasn't just over here, and it wasn't just random chance right here, okay? Okay, that just wasn't random. Do you think that's random chance? Wow. You're truly a person of this world, this culture. It's sad. I would say almost congratulations, but it's a bad congratulations. Okay, poor you, poor you. But now also improving even more. What is hell? Not only is it the mark, it's the time I'm saying. I just told you it was also at the end of the timeline and all that stuff. When hell begins. By the way, what's the opposite of hell? Heaven. So when hell happens here at the end of the timeline, it's going to be heaven for the faithful. That's the opposite. Get it? Heaven, hell. Opposites. They love opposites. Because they're literally focusing on hell down here because they don't want to focus on the heaven up there. So at the end of the timeline, okay, I wonder what I said it was. Did I say it was Christmas Eve and then Christmas? I want to win the war on Christmas, Obama said. So that means if they're focusing on hell down here, that means we're going to heaven up there. And I'm going to prove it. Hell backwards is heaven. Watch. Hell, L12, L12, E5, H8. Now look, 12, and then 12 plus 5 plus 8 is 25. 12, 25 is that. Well, not that. It's represented in iPad Code as well. That's when the flower opens. That's saying that's the end, baby. That's the birth of the Antichrist. And what is that? 1225. How is this 1225? Well, you look at the pistil. It's called the pistil, whatever. It's got 12 sections, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. And then how many petals? That's just 25. This is when the Antichrist is born to the world. 1225. There it is, 1225. Opposite of hell. So, again, when the Antichrist is born to the world with his false prophet, it'll be hell for the world, but then it'll be heaven for the believers that have believed in him on the 24th. And then on the 25th, we'll be in heaven specifically like 25th, bam, we're there. And down there is hell, because they just had their king of hell. He just opened the triple tau. He is the triple tau. He's the portal to hell. The portal to hell. And then that's just cracking the portal to hell. And then when they get a few months later to April 8th, rolling out with the fake aliens and all that stuff, the Marxels or the Beastles, and then boom, then hell is completely on for the rest of the tribulation. And the tribulation starts in 1225. Anyway, you'll see. Boom. And then this is a slide from over 3 years ago. From where I predicted this time frame as well, that it would end on 1225, but I just didn't have the right year. In fact, it's the birth of the sun god. It's celebrated on 1225, but it really happens on 1221. It's the winter solstice, the birth of the sun. In fact, 1220 to 1221, depending on the year, is when the sun loses its light on the earth, and then it starts regaining its light for the earth. That's when it's born, technically. So it's the birth of Sol Invictus, the sun god, or Sol, Statue of Liberty. See how Statue of Liberty looks like the god Helios. There's Helios, the god Helios, with the points on it, rubbing the star emanating from it. In fact, I believe the Lord showed me that Stinky B.O., the 44th Prez, Barack Insane No Bombazles, he is going to glow somehow, like he has the sun in him or something like that. Somehow he's going to glow, and so he's going to look like he's going to look like a false Christ and all that stuff. Okay, but by the way, in all these different religions, they're all said to be born on December 25th. Helios is said to be born on December 25th. Apollo, Attis, Perseus, Hercules, Horus, Tammuz, Nimrod, Horus, Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, and Jupiter. There's Jupiter falling from Lily and iPad goat, and that is Jupiter. That is the spot in Jupiter. That's the stripes. It's a little reddish though, and I've seen some infrared and some other pictures of Jupiter. It looks just like that. I mean, it's reddish like that with this the spot like that. Because somehow they knew. I wonder how demons knew that. Okay, and then this is heliofont. Again, heliofont means font. It means I think in Latin, like, and even in like in French and all that, means like child or means born or child or little one or whatever. So it's basically birth of Helios. That's what heliofont means. And iPad Go was made by Heliofont. And this is the middle of their Helio font. Okay, and so this is a annual eclipse. And there's something out here. For a long time, I didn't know what this was for sure, but now I think I get it. It's upside down and backwards. This is the annual eclipse giving birth to the sun. See how it is coming out of it? Coming out of it. See, the annual eclipse is giving birth to the sun. That is the sun. That is the sun god Helios. See, giving birth to the sun. Okay, Sol Invictus, all that. Okay, now watch. From October 14th, this last annual eclipse, okay, giving birth, that gives birth to the sun god, to what I'm saying is really the birth of the sun. It's going to be the birth of, in fact, it just happens to be the 11th and 12th day. The 11th day is the 20th, December 20th, and the 12th day is the 21st. And I've said for 5+ years that the birth of the 11th and 12th day of the timeline is the lightning falling from heaven, Barack Obama, which causes tsunami waves, which is like the water breaking, which destroys both coasts and all that. And that is lightning falling from heaven, Satan being kicked out of heaven and falling to earth. And that's an 11th, 12th day, and that just happens to be the day of the birth of the sun? I don't think so. I don't know, no happenstance on that. And that's 68 days from this eclipse. That's what this looked like right there from some spots here. Okay, the annual eclipse, the 14th of this is just a few days ago from when I'm doing this video. 6 days ago from when I do this video. Today is October 20th. 6 days ago, okay? To that day is 68 days. What's substantial about that? Oh, Barack Obama is or Barack Obama, lightning falling from heaven, is where they get this name from, okay? And Barack Obama is 68. See, lightning falling from heaven on this day, December 21st. And lightning falling from heaven just happens to be in Hebrew, Barack Obama, and that's 68 for 68 days. And I'm going to show this even more. I want to prove this. Watch. Then you have, so that's 68 days from when to when. Well, we know what that is, but I'm going to show you this. Now look over here. This is English, reverse English Sumerian. Now watch this. This is 3 plus 7 is 10. 1 and 4 is 14. 10, 14. Then you add 68 days. See, it's all in this gematria. It's hidden in this gematria. It's crazy. So this is the day of that eclipse, plus 68 days gets you to, 12/21. Barack Obama, lightning falling from heaven. Ultraviolet, or purple, whatever. He is represented by that in so many things. The media, the Black Panther had ultraviolet power inside him that would burst out when he hit stuff. And all, I mean, and Black Panther is 666 in English gematria. I mean, seriously. Okay, now watch. Boom. Now we have this. Now let's take English and reverse and put them together. We have 4, 8, and now those reduce down to 6. 4, 8, 6. Just happened to be 4, 8, 6. And then now let's take this and its reverse. This in reverse happens to be 2. Take anything you add 9 to stays the same. Get rid of the 9. 2 plus 2 is 4, 8, 6. Again, 4, 8, 6 backwards. 4, 8, 6 forward right there. So we're going to take this to 4, 8, 6. Now, again, I'm going to do 4, 8, 2 plus 4 is 6, 4, 8, 6, and the eve of that for 4, 7, just to show you that they're both in consideration. They're both the same thing, basically, the eve and the day, okay? So that's how this connects very, very effectively. Like I said, that's how this works, okay? Now let's take the other 2 base ciphers of the 4 base ciphers that most Masonry consider, full reduction and reverse full reduction. So this just happens to be 32 plus 76 is 108. When you go from this to this, it's 68 days. Barack Obama right there. See that? And then these 2 make this, and these 2 make that. And when you go from this to that, it's 108 days. You put this plus that, you get 108 days. I mean, are you kidding me? It's all right here. That's a coincidence? No, it's not. Wake up. In Jesus' name, wake up. for your own good and for your family's good and everything else. Wake up. It's right in front of your face. Okay? Now, Lord told me something about September 23rd. After I did my timeline and I was waiting, but even before September 23rd happened, he was like, he told me something. I'm gonna tell you something. It is especially this year, okay, but in general, it's the beginning of fall, okay. Now, if you think about fall or the fall of United States or the fall of man or whatever, fall, okay, it's fall, something's falling, okay, leaves are falling, of course, but it's something. But the opposite of the fall or the opposite of the beginning of the fall would be the end of fall. Hold on a second. my little one's knocking on the door. Okay. As they can at sometimes and interrupt your video. Life happens while you're doing other things. Anyway, so what's the beginning of fall? The autumn equinox. What's the end of fall? December 21st. It's opposites. The opposite of the beginning of fall is the end of fall, okay? Opposite of the beginning of fall is the end of fall, okay? So the Lord told me about that. Before I even got to the 23rd, I was waiting on the timeline. I was like, whoa, look at it. And he goes, oh, September 23rd is a decoy. He literally said that to me. He goes, September 23rd is a decoy. And I go, okay, Lord. I was a little I was like happy to hear he's told me that. And I'm almost happy to hear when he tells me so, especially when he tells me like that. It says, oh, by the way, September 23rd is a decoy. He said it just like that. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's so crazy the way he talks to me sometimes. It's funny, and then also, again, sometimes it can be scary sometimes, and it's also very heartening. He says some of the most amazing stuff to me about how much he loves me and all this kind of stuff, or pray for this person, or do this now, or don't do this and wait on this. I mean, whatever, however he says it to me, it's awesome. And I encourage you, do your best to spend time listening. I mean, that's the biggest problem that most people have. They won't wait on him, and they certainly won't wait to listen to him. And that's a massive American problem, and not to mention many people's problems. So, and another thing is people don't want to wait because they want to do what they want to do. And so then you miss out on really hearing from him and really getting the stuff you need. Most people do that because they can't wait and they can't listen. So, and this world's made it impossible to listen almost. You have to be able to listen. You have to learn how to listen to how he's speaking to you. You just have to, or don't, and then get the consequences. Whatever. But decoys. So now check this out. He said that. Now watch. Remember how I said September he said September decoy, and how he showed me the September 23rd, especially this year, September 23rd, 2023, is the opposite of the winter solstice, when the birth of the Antichrist. So it's the opposite. So it's the exact opposite. So all these people were focused on September 23rd, a lot of the truthers and all this stuff. And I thought I put it out there because I thought it was very possible. Lord wanted me to put it out there, and more people came, and more people wanted to see what this is all about and everything like that. And I was just doing what I was shown and all that stuff. But it ends up being great because ultimately we're getting there. I mean, I don't know how this is going to come out until it happens. I don't know I can't guarantee this at the time at all. I can't. But what I'm seeing and what I'm showing you is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's very possible. To me, it's like 99.99999%. And you turn it upside down, you got 6666. Anyway, I'm just kidding. It's crazy. So anyway, September 23rd is a decoy, is a first letter code. The Lord, I was like, I know there's something here, Lord. What are you showing me now? I immediately thought first letter code, and here it is. September 23rd is a decoy. See, this is how he speaks to me for these riddles, so I can solve this. He has to speak to me in his way, in different ways, and also in their ways. He teaches me how they work, how this works. Okay, so watch. S23IAD. Now watch. S is 19. 23 is 23, of course. I is 9. A is 1. D is 4. Now we're going to switch the 19 and the 23. They do switches here and there. So we're going to switch it, and then we take 19 plus 9 is 28. I'm color coding this way so it's easier to show you. So we got 23 down here. 19 plus 9 is 28. And then we got 14. I'm going to bring 14 down. Now watch. 23, we're going to bring that down. And we got 2 and 1. We're going to put those together, 2 and 1. And then we're going to do 8 plus 4 is 12. Look at this. 12/21/23. The winter solstice. September 23rd is a decoy of the winter solstice. And he said this, and this is the wisdom that comes from Jesus if you just listen to him. And do your ministry, whatever it is, or do what he's showing you to do, whatever it may be. This is mine. It took me years and years to figure this out. What do you want me to do? And then he finally said, oh, I'm going to give you a bunch of dreams and visions that are going to terrify you, but then also hearten you to me and all kinds of stuff, and then bless you, your socks off, and show you all this stuff and show you how much I love you and that all the stuff I want for you and everything like that. But I need you to do this for me, for my people, and to bring people to me that are just all over the place. And they're going to be interested in finding out about this or what's going on. They know something's going on with the end times. They know things are going. What's up with these earthquakes? What's up with these wars? What's up with all this stuff? Like he said in Matthew, right, 24, right, all this stuff. Okay, and you're going to reach out to them, and they're going to come through to me through you. Thousands of them, he said. And it's happening. It's been happening. Many people have come to the Lord through my channel. Most of it's through emails that they've emailed me. How do I get to know Jesus? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I show them. I tell them. Okay, and what I tell them mainly is confess in your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised him from the dead. Okay, and show them all the scriptures on that and that kind of details, and just say once you do that, you're born of him, and then listen to what he says and do it. And that's your primary concern. That's it. It's as simple as that. Apostle Paul said, I only consider all the stuff I've ever done is junk, is dung, is refuse. It doesn't matter. I only consider now Christ and him crucified. That I know Christ and I know him, and that he was really crucified. He is who he says he was. He is who he says he is, basically, for me. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so anyway, that's December 21st is what September 23rd is really, September 23rd, 2023 is really saying. Okay? Okay, well, hold on one second. Okay, sorry, I thought something else was going on here. A little bit of distractions in the house, but hey, that's how it goes. Okay. I have a wife and 4 kids, and if you already know this, you know it. If you just imagine, I can only imagine. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so September 23rd, even spelled out, is all these things. Okay. So it's not. So see, you saw how September 23rd was December 21st in different ways, and how what the Lord showed me, and how it was the opposite of. September 23rd is the opposite in the sense of the winter solstice, when the birth of the Antichrist on December 21st. Okay, it's also the mark and everything. Now watch, September 3rd, 23rd spelled out is 98. 98. What's 98? Normally, April 8th is the 98th day of the year, but in 2024, it's a oh God, there we go again. It is a leap year, so you have a leap day added to that year, and so 98 becomes 99. But April is still April 8th. April 8th is the day that they're talking about, and that's the day of 1, 6, and 2 6s. Get it? 1, 6, and 2 6. But it's also, watch this. It's the day of 1, 6, and 2 6, but it's also the day of 12, 12, or 12. And then 12 is backwards 21, 12/21, because it's a code of a code. 12/12, by the way, in iPad Go, you have the 2 clocks, one in the classroom, one on the clock tower outside the classroom, and they're at 12 o'clock. Well, 12 o'clock is hiding. You have one hand on the 12, and then the little hand on the 12 and the big hand on the 12. That's technically 12/12. And so then you just take one of the 12s and reverse it, and that's 12/21, the birth of the Antichrist, 12/21, the winter solstice, the birth of the sun. Hello, McFly. Hello. Okay, ding, ding, ding. Okay, so see that? So this is not only 666, the day of the mark, but it's also the birth of the Antichrist. How it's 12/12. Okay, anyway, and then, but also 12. How about this? September 23rd. Remember when the Antichrist and the false prophet met? I'm gonna show that in a second. They met on the September 23rd, 2015, which is the 266th day of the year, with 99 days left. See, the 2 6s and 1 6, or the mark of the beast, 666, 2 6s and 1 6 is 666 on the 99th day of the year. That's what September 23rd is. It's not only showing you the opposite of the winter solstice, it's also showing you with the days and the days left, and how it's spelled out, 666 or 2 6s and 1 6, or 1 6 and 2 6. See, that's 1 6 and 2 6, and that's 1 6 and 2 6, and we have 99 and 98. Both are April 8th. Okay, it's crazy. And then let's just follow this anymore. Also, September 23rd, and other gematrias in English in reverse is 107, 109. Now check this out. This is so crazy. So when you go, this is the end date. This is the mark of the beast day, right? 98, 99, 666, 666. Okay. But where's also the timeline we're talking about? It's right here. Now watch. See this number right here? This is 271. Well, right in the middle is 7. 7 upside down and backwards is L, and L is 12. So that's 1221. And from 1221, when you add 109 days, you get to the eclipse day. You see that? This is crazy. 7 upside down and backwards is L. L is 12. 1221 of 2023. You add 109 days, and you get this eclipse day right here, 98th or 99th day of the year, 99th day of the year here on this situation, okay? Crazy. Now let's take this. Now we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, or 12. 1, 2, 12 plus set. So sorry, we're going to kind of do it backwards, but we're going to switch the 2 and the 7. So 1, 2, or 12. That's 12. 1, 2. 7 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9 is 24. So that's Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, or 1, 2 is 12. 7 plus 9 plus 6 plus 2 is 24. 1224 plus 107 is the day of the mark, the 99th day of the year, 2024, April 8th. Do you get that? See how this is? It's right there in front of you. What I'm showing you is connecting both. When you put these together secretly and this by itself, and even this probably, oh, by the way, this is 2 6s and a 9, 12-9, the first day. And if you take 12-9, the first day, okay, 2 6s is 12-9. The first day is 12-9. It goes through 12-9 to 12-24, and then 12-25 is basically the first day of the tribulation, in a sense. Okay, or the first. Anyway, that's how. If that makes sense, I'll show it more and stuff too. But from 12-9 to the mark day is 121 days. And what's 121 in English Gematria? Antichrist. Yeah, that's how this stuff works. Okay, and then like I said here, these two nuggets got together on September 23rd, 2015, because, again, it's the 266th day of the year. A lot of reasons, but 266, and it's also spelled out this. It shows you all this right here. And then it's 266th day of the year, which is the mark of the beast, 666, and then 99 days left. And by the way, like I've also showed or shared, this is the 266th Pope. And he's the Antichrist, and he's born on the 216th day of the year, which is 666. The 266th Pope is 2 6s and 1 6, and his birthday is the 216th day of the year, which is 6 times 6 times 6. So he's 666 and he's 666 in many ways, anyway. But so anyway, so his day of birth, not date of birth. Date of birth is 12/17, but day of birth, day of the year is 351st day of the year is 12/17. It's his birthday. And then his day of birth, the 216th day of the year, is August 8th. Again, that's April 8th backwards, because it's the day of the mark, okay? Because that's all synced together. Now remember this, 351 and 216, okay? Now watch. The mark, 66, on the 99th day of the year equals 756. But guess what? That's backwards. That's backwards, 567. And what do you get? What goes into 567? 216 and 351. Obama and the Pope. See how they make that? Oh, even more. Look at this. This is another way of looking at the X, okay? X marks the spot. Okay, X marks the spot. Let me show you how X marks the spot. That's a saying that goes back into the 1800s with Treasure Island. The book Treasure Island, and it actually goes back before that, but that's when it became more famous. X marks the spot of the treasure, and all that stuff, right? Okay, X marks the spot. Now watch. If you go like this, you go this number right here, 189. All these have a reason here. Now watch. 189 is backwards. 98th day of the year, which is normally April 8th, plus 1 is that special year with one more day added to it, right? So that's 99th day of the year. Okay, get it? And that's unique about this number. It's pretty cool, because that shows you what that means. 98th day of the year, which is normal April 8th, and then when you add the leap year day, you add 1. So that's 99. See how that works? Okay. And then watch this. So the opposite of take English ordinal times 6 is this one right here, English Sumerian. So that's how these are two related. This one times 6 is this one. Now what happens when you take that? Okay, that's upside down and back. That's backwards, right? 981. That's upside down and backwards. Hell. So on the 98, normally the 98th day of the year, but because it's that day, because it's that year, it's 99th day of the year. It's hell. Is X marks the spot? Okay. Now even more. Let's do the same thing down here. The same X marks the spot. But we're going to take this plus that. It's 351. Remember, that was the Pope. Okay? See how they're tied to this? It's crazy. I could do it 1,000 ways now. It's crazy. I know this now. 189. And by the way, this is literally hiding. If we move that 6 and the 2, it's 126. What's 126? 8 plus 4, 8th of April, and 6 is 24. So that is 126, actually. So that's 99th day of the year is April 8th, 2024. And that's the 99th day of the year, 7 plus 2 is 99th day of the year, and then this is hell. It's crazy. Okay, but if we take it like this plus this is 351, which is the Pope, and then this plus this is 2006. Take away the 0, and you have 216, the Pope and Obama. I mean, I can show you this on hundreds of things, and I will show you some of it as we go. It's crazy. Look at this. Again, 99th day of the year is hell, and they're both associated with it, with their numbers of the day of their day of their births, and that's impossible. It's all over. They're written in this stuff all over the place, okay? And by the way, X marks the spot, right? We've heard that for a long time, okay? X marks the spot. Yeah, I remember Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. He's in the library. There's a big X on the floor. X marks the spot, okay? And well, in this case, it does. X marks the spot. And they break the tile right there, or the stone right there in the middle of the X, right in the middle of the X. And then that's where the mark is, but that's where the sarcophagus was of death to the next tablet they would find in this movie. But X marks the spot because it's a word anagram. X marks the spot is a word anagram. And what is that telling you? And it's been around for a long time. It's been around since 1800s at least. It's telling everybody for so many years. Secretly, it's a word anagram, and it's saying X spots the mark. X spots the mark. X, it spots when the mark will be. Get it? And then, oh, by the way, so before I show you that, X spots the mark, okay? This is crazy. The Lord showed me all this crazy stuff, okay? So X spots the mark. Okay, so I remember when I was first looking at this eclipse years ago and seeing that these two cross, and I saw this X, I go, oh, I said X marks the spot. I was like, I didn't understand completely what that meant, but I at least could say, oh, X marks the spot. And I go, what is the spot? What is that spot? What is it? Well, I mean, let me go back here real quick. It's Carbondale, Illinois. And by the way, Illinois is ill right there. In that sense, it's showing ILL. Oh, that's so deep. ILL looks like 111, which is the basis of 666. And if you do ill to someone, you do evil to them. So ill is evil. That is evil. And Carbondale is the carbon that they're putting into people through the injections. The graphenyl oxides is base is carbon, because it's how technology is run. Okay, I'm telling you. Yeah, man, there's more to come. More to come. Okay, anyway. Oh, by the way, so then I was saying, I was saying way back then when I saw these two eclipses cross, I said X marks the spot. Okay, and then recently in the last couple of weeks, I go, oh, let me Google X marks the spot, and look what I found. 2 solar eclipses in 7 years, and they literally use the same term because it's supposed to go together because it's programming. And literally it was in year 2016, which is 6 times 6 times 6. And I want to get into what June 28th is right now. There's so much in this. It's crazy. Nationaleclipse.com. X marks the spot. Are you kidding me? So anyway, you see, the predictive programming, they can't keep these two away. Obama's and the Pope. The little font, the little child, the Pope, and the big jackwagon, the beast, the Pope and the beast. Anyway, see these two together? See how and this is this is programming for the mark day. Why? How could it be? Again, these two, like I showed, these two are represented right here. Look, right there, right there, right there. They're right there in the X marks the spot. They're also in all these other things that represent this as well. The Great American Eclipse and all this other stuff. Their numbers are in all that stuff. Tons. I can show you a bunch. You'll see. So what's the big deal? Well, this is a Halloween thing. You see all the pumpkins in the baskets with candy and all that? You got this little kid dressed up on Halloween right as the Pope. Again, they can't get away from this. The Pope and Obama. The Antichrist and the false prophet. Boom. As a font for Helios. Helio font. Get it? He's the god Helios, the birth of the sun, and he's font, the little baby font. Helio font. Get it? It's crazy. There's so much in this. So what is Halloween to these two? Watch. Halloween is normally 10/31. But that's October 31st. To the Romans, or the Roman calendar, who's running this whole thing, it's a Roman calendar, really, is 8. Octo is 8. So that's 8/31. 8, and then 31 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And that just happens to be the beast's birthday. Okay? But it is the mark of the beast. Again, the beast's birthday is his birthday when he was going to be attached to his false body, forced to attach to his body, the mark. Okay? And that's 4/8 or 8/4. Get it? See how that is that? See how that is the mark and these two attached to it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you for everybody who's given to me. I was asking on my last video, which was, it's been a while ago now, for help. And you came through in spades. I'm humbled by it. My family is blown away by your giving and all this stuff. We were able to take care, just so you know, of course, the rent and this month's rent. Thank God. And I didn't get much donations. I mean, I get some and everything, but not a bunch of donations after that, because that's what people were giving, and that's so grateful, and able to get our van immediately fixed, and some other things that we needed to do to get caught up, and that was massively huge. So thank you so much. I just so much thank you. And I wasn't gonna mention this now, but the Lord's kicking me right now. And I was just asking him, I said, Lord, just let me know if I should say anything or not. And now I feel like he's nudging me, like a little bit of a kick. A loving, nice kick. He doesn't really kick me, but it's just the way I perceive it. So he kind of kicks me right now. I wasn't going to say it, and because I thought I was just, but anyway, first of all, I want to thank so much everybody who's given. You just, oh man, we're honored, we're blown away. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, my whole family, my wife and I, my kids, in any way that they can thank you. They thank you. So thank you so much for your gifts. It's just been extraordinary. So I just don't want to minimize that. I wanted to say, if you gave, or in any way, prayer. I mean, everybody that gave. I mean, it doesn't have to be monetarily. I mean, Lord works it out how He works it out, and He works in your heart. And I just pray that you'd work it out of your heart to your means and all that. And sometimes when you need to give and you don't think you can, then you give. And I've done that many times when I had nothing to give, and the Lord said, give that anyway. And I did, kind of like with the woman with Elijah and everything like that. I mean, sometimes you just have to give everything as faith, and it comes back to you a million times over, and all that. So I'm just so thankful for everyone who's given, and it was just such a blessing, and it was an unusual blessing. I mean, we do get gifts regularly to stay afloat and all that stuff, but we really needed to kind of get above water a bit, and then this is able to do that for now. But now, just what I wanted to mention to you with the little kick I got from the Lord. I wasn't going to mention this, and then I decided, okay, Lord, we'll just leave it the way it is and see how it works out. Because I've been sleeping, I've had sleep apnea for a long time. I'm sorry. Please don't offer a bunch of options and all that. I guess you could if you want to go ahead, whatever. But I've exhausted everything I know, and all that, and everybody's prayed, I've prayed, and I'm still having, at times it was better, and for different reasons. It's a long story. It's a complicated story. It's almost like this thorn that it just won't remove in some ways. And sometimes Lord's doing things. He told me He's keeping me alive. He's told me that there's some things going on for a reason. He won't tell me all the details about that, but I'm also fighting, and I've tried numbers of things. I don't have insurance as classically people have insurance, because I believe God is my health assurance. And even just recently, my one of my twins had a big time stomach ache. We prayed. I mean, listen, if we have to, we would take our child to the doctor, but But for the most part, we don't have service. We don't have insurance, but we do it anyway if we have to. We've had to do things in the past, but most of the time, we haven't done anything for a long time because most of the time when we pray, I call it the power of four. My wife, me, my oldest son, and my daughter, who's 15, and my oldest son who's just turned 10. We pray and then it just goes away, or it takes a little bit of time and then whatever it is goes away, and then that's how it is. We have extreme faith, and it's trust in the Lord. He's so good to us. And if you don't agree, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you agree or not. It works. If you saw the miracles he performed in our lives, you would believe too. I mean, you would. So, and so anyway, this has gone on for a while. I have to get I think he's leading me to get this finally solved. I think to get a mouthpiece that goes through the dentist, and they get a mold of your teeth, and they send it off, and they get a positive of your teeth, and it's a thing it's a device that you put your teeth into, and it pulls your jaw forward a little bit, because I have a thick tongue. I found out by my own investigation, I have a thick tongue in the back, and then my throat may have been altered when I had my tonsils removed when I was a kid. This might have been the enemy working when I didn't realize it, and they may have messed something up back there to make it more narrow, either on purpose or unintentionally. I don't know, but the airway is very small, and so with the thickness of my tongue, when I lay back or try to sleep, it just completely covers the opening. So it not only severely snore, but many times, like literally, I had one of the worst sleep tests that several doctors had ever seen. I literally went into a doctor, especially when I didn't have normal insurance, and had them at least tell me what was going on. And they basically said that I stopped breathing 86 times an hour. And I'm not exaggerating by when Jesus said he's keeping me alive. But I'm to tell you that it's been rough at times sleeping, only having a few hours of sleep at a time, and then doing these videos and all that kind of stuff. But I do it because I need to, and in the midst, I'm phenomenally blessed as well, and I get bouts when I get some sleep and all that stuff, and all that. So I can't complain too much. But that being said, I'm getting fitting for this very soon, and I was considering setting up like a GoFundMe account or something like that, but instead I'm not going to. If you feel led to give, and I'm just going to treat it like a normal gift, and I'll put whatever I can towards that. But it's about $1,800. Okay, it's almost $1,900, and I just felt like he's showing me I have to do this. And just to let you know, heads up, I have about 1,000 that I can put towards it from these other gifts. Okay, and that's about what I have. Now I have about another 800, almost 900 to cover. But I'm just going to let you know that, and however the Lord works it out. And I just ask you, if you're inspired, whatever, just but just treat it like a normal gift, and we'll get what we get. And then I'm just gonna act to do it here in a few days, because I'm gonna have my fitting, and then what I'm minus or whatever, or then I just hope it will come up in the next few days or whatever. So anyway, just that's how it's rolling. I wasn't gonna do that. I was just gonna just do it, and then if we got to zero, then on my next video I'd ask and say we have nothing, can't even pay our next rent or whatever, and all that. But I felt like he gave me a nudge right now, a good nudge. So I just, again, I go by what the Lord shows me. So I'll leave it at that. And if you're able to give, again, in the description box below, we have a PayPal, link to PayPal. We have Zelle. If you want to, you can do it through Zelle. It's zellpay.com. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything like PayPal does to transfer money. You can sign up for Zelle at zellpay.com. Also have that P.O. box. The P.O. box, again, is 884. Again, this is a marked date backwards, 488 or 4/8/2024. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, I mean, I've had that for years and years. Anyway, so if you're able to give it anyway, I so appreciate it. And the thing that, and the ones who you're not able to give, or the Lord's not nudging you to give, again, please take the nudge. I mean, that if whatever he tells you, that's what I'm saying. Whatever he tells you, that's what you should do. If you're not used to listening to him, do what you feel you should do, or whatever. That's the best advice I get. Always listen to him. Always do what he says. If he says no, no. If he says yes, yes. Whatever. It tells you how much, whatever. And anything in your life, anything that you do, okay, that's always my advice, because that's what I do. That's the only thing I do. And I've learned that over the years. That's the only thing I do. And at times it's very, very trying, if you can imagine. Other times it's the biggest blessing that you can ever imagine. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. But if you're if you led to give, thank you so much. And God bless you. And look forward to the next one. I'm immediately at work. Again, I've done tons of research. I'm going to start doing a little bit more research on this next one, but I have a lot of this stuff to put together, and I should have another one out. I'm not going to say when. I don't know when. But so leave it at that, but get ready to get blown away by the next one as well. It's going to blow your socks off your feet and into the sky. Okay, it's just awesome. So I'll leave it at that. This is Aaron, Exalted Lamb 1, over and out. God bless.